Let's just start by unplugging that. And welcome back to the adventure, guys. So today we are going to be finishing up hopefully our AC, not the air conditioning, our alternating current system, AC current, or shore power, how you would say it. But for us, it's also what's being ran off of the inverter. And a couple other 120 volt components that I would like to add. Yeah, we're just one step closer to going on our maiden voyage there. Even though we have camped in this, there was no insulation, there was no electrical, there was no heat, and it was cold. But I really want to do a full systems check. We're getting so close to being able to do that. We are finishing up our 120 volt breaker panel. That's why I turn off the power in the beginning there. We've got a couple more wires I need to run in and out for the mini split and for up front by the cab. And then I want to put in all the breakers so that we can have power at every outlet in the truck. Okay, so in a previous video, I showed how to set all of this stuff up here before I start touching anything. Turn the main power off. Even though it's unplugged from the wall, and I know there's no possible way this could be electrified, I'm still turning off this main breaker because I'm going to be working on this side of it. The way that this works is I have coming in 240 volts through that plug on the outside of our truck. That comes into this big wire right here, which then you get one hot leg on this side, one hot leg on this side. This white wire is your neutral, and your grounds are all connected on a central ground bus bar. So are all the neutrals on the central neutral bus bar. We've got, so these two hot lines go directly into this first big main 100 amp circuit breaker. After this first 100 amp main circuit breaker, it then goes down to these two rails. And if you can see closely, this is not connected to this one. A breaker like this uses one of these two legs. And so you could trace that back up and say, okay, this breaker is a small breaker, a single pole breaker. It's using one of these hot legs. The other end of the circuit's connected to neutral. That gives us 120 volt. If we say, look at this breaker, it has two. It's using two of these posts, which is using both of these hot legs, which is 120 plus 120. It's giving us 240 volts. And then a central neutral goes to the bus bar. This singular breaker right here is pretty much, this is the only 240 load that we have, which is our welders. But for now, I'm not going to hook this up. I don't need to put that in yet. What I am going to hook up today are all of the 120 stuff. But first, I need to run one more wire into this box. Actually, two more wires. So far on the whole build, we've been using regular, this is house wiring. It's solid, 12 gauge solid wire in a sheath together. It's 12-2 is what this is called. Even though the ground is in there too, it's not considered 3. It just has the hot and the neutral that they count. They only count the conductors. So the hot and neutral are conductors. The ground is a safety. So this is 12-2 Romex is what we've been using for all of this stuff. Except for this stuff, the main feed is a different wire gauge. But for now, what I'm going to be using for the external things that I'm going to be adding is this. This is a 12 gauge extension cord that I snipped the end off. This is flexible wire, right? It's stranded and it's outdoor rated. This is rated for being in the weather. Romex is not, which is why I'm using this, because of course this is going under the truck. I'd rather be safe than sorry. So I left this 550 cord, just a rope, and to make it easier to pull things underneath the truck through that PVC conduit. So I'm just gonna tape this off and go ahead and pull this extension cord down under the truck. I used to carry black electrical tape, but when I was working with the electrician, he told me why would you carry the black stuff, right? You can write on the white stuff, or you could carry yellow or orange or blue or green or anything else like that, and then you can label it. So that's why I carry the yellow now and orange, because I like those colors. Colors make me happy. That's the mini split, and this one is the block heater. So we'll strip this cord, being super careful not to touch any of those conductors in there or to cut our own finger off. That would suck. So just like before, all of my grounds, which is the green one, will all go to the same location. It's a central bus bar. This one. Okay. So that's my ground. Now my neutral. Nice and snug. We'll make this one our mini split. And I'm gonna just tie into this top one. After the mini split, I want to come down and do the hood. So I'm just gonna keep going down like that and filling in these breakers, and I'll come back when it's done. All right, so this is what we got. When we hook up the water system, I'll swap out the kitchen one and the bathroom one for GFCI breakers. That way I don't have to have a GFCI outlet, and then I'll still be protected around moisture. We're ready to just put the cover on and then on to the next part of this.
This is the best ever, because I can sweep this area and there's not like bundles and spools of wire everywhere, and it's just, it's lovely. It's lovely.
So this is the other end of that line that I marked a block heater. I want to fish this all the way to that far corner over there. It's raining. I want to close this door. I really like hearing the sound of the rain on this aluminum roof. So I'm running this wire way over here for the block heater because diesels don't like to start when it's cold. And the last thing I want to try to do when it's cold and I'm trying to drive somewhere is try and get an extension cord and run it around and find an outlet on the outside and plug in, and then plug that into the block heater and then let it sit. And once the engine starts, run around again, unplug it, coil up that wire, stow it somewhere. And with this, I'm going to mount this box right here with a light switch, and I'll be able to just flip on block heater, and when the engine starts, flip it back off, and away we go. Quick and easy. Way easier than messing around with cords when it's cold out. And that's another reason why I ran all that in extension cord, because I want this to be still flexible even if it's, say, -10 out, and that this cord will do that. Get all this stuff out the way because we don't want a repeat of that gas can. And then make sure I have enough clearance for this box. I'll put this about right there. Alright, so now I've got my meter set to continuity, which means when it completes the circuit, it beeps. If I have power on this side, that's connected, that's not connected. So this should be neutral is what I'm thinking, to turn the light on, and then this will be the other end of the circuit to power whatever you're trying to power. And then I want to daisy chain my neutrals and my ground, because I want the grounds to be connected. So now that all of that is complete, I'm going to test my outlet I'm plugging everything into. I know this is super skinny, but we're not powering much right now. So we got 2 yellow lights on this. The source is good. Let's go ahead and plug it into the truck. That light stayed on, which means it didn't trip the breaker, so that's good. Let's go over here. I put in a box right here. This box location is permanent, but the way I've got it wired up is not. When we get the rest of our electrical system, I'll make that permanent. But that's got 2 lights there, so that's good. That's good. This light's on. So now our main breaker. It's on. Oh, wait, I should probably turn on the kitchen circuit too. Which one's the kitchen circuit?
I don't remember.
Let's look back through the video
Actually,
real quick.
I think I do. I think it's the second, this one. Can I try it?
If it's not it, sure. What turned on? This is on. So, okay, kitchen. So now which one was the range? Range is on. Hood is on. And now which one was the block heater? The very top's the AC. Right under the range? Was that the block heater? A lot of our wires are just sticking out the wall, so if it's not it, something else is going to be live, and that would be...
Well, let me look through the video.
Forget it. Okay, so let's test and see if this is the one. All right, so that is on. This is off. Okay, so with the light switch off, it is on. Plug this in. And then turn the switch. The light is still on.
It's always on, huh?
Might be always on.
Dang.
Interesting. Is it? Yeah, it's on.
Because then we can't tell at a glance if it's on or off.
Okay, turn the breaker off real quick. Let's try to reverse them. See what happens. This out. I have to. You just make sure the whole outlet isn't live or something silly. No. We changed the polarity of the where we put each of the black wires on the switch. We just moved them to the different pole. And now, when it's off, the light is off. And when it's on, the light is on. Everything's still correct. Now I'll just run this under the truck. Might tie that in later. Yeah, it's pretty warm. Nope, I'm gonna do it right now. Because if I don't do it right now, I'll have to do it in the middle of winter. Because I'll forget. And I would have defeated the purpose. Yeah, let's go ahead and turn the breaker back off. I'll wire this in, and then we should be good to go then. Shove this through the hole in the ground we just made. That should be plenty. So this is the block heater right here. This is the inlet for it. So I'm gonna go and get a waterproof one of these cordon for you know what, we'll just show you. Let's go get the dogs, let's go to Home Depot. Oh, and we got a new camera. It's got a gimbal on it, so it should make for some really smooth moving shots. And it takes amazing slow motion, and it's really small, so it's probably gonna be our new adventure camera. Pups! Wanna go on an adventure? Wait. Load up. Oh, I didn't even have to ask you. You're ready for an adventure. Okay. It's not going in there. Let's see. I just need to lubricate it a little bit, and it's not like anybody else is gonna lick this, right? Now we wire it. That's that. Now this needs to go through. Strip these wires. And tighten this thing on the back. Watertight connection. Now plug that in to this, nice and seated.
We want to test this to make sure it works, because that would be mighty silly if we did all that work and it doesn't.
Okay, so that's getting power. Going from the switch. Now let's go under the truck. This yellow wire on top is the power going from that light switch, and then this black wire is power going to the heater. So all of this stuff is set up nice. Should be good to go. I just gotta go turn it off because it's not that cold out right now.
All right, so we started to pull this wire through too. We were going to do the trailer brake and lights, but we realized that we needed 6 wires for this, and this is a 4 wire. So we're going to look for another wire.
That's gonna be it for tonight. If you guys are liking the videos, hit the subscribe button, and if you learned something, share it to somebody else. I'd like to see a lot more people get more involved in customizing their vehicles and things like that. Yeah, see you guys next time.